I definitely know that I'm not going to be able to date someone that's a hillbilly in Appalachia. It's not happening.
Okay.
Hard stop.
Well, I don't know that they're looking for any of us.
Oh, that's
either.
definitely not.
Yeah,
They're looking for their cousin and brother.
Yeah. My cousin, my mother, my brother, and my sister. Yeah.
Right.
What's good, fam? And welcome to Just Drawz. This is a show hosted by two Black gay men who are smart, sometimes funny, and not afraid to say the quiet parts out loud.
We talk life, love, sex, culture, mental health, politics, pop culture,
and everything in between. So whether you're here to laugh, learn, heal, or just feel seen,
you're in the right place. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Just Drawz, the podcast where we keep it vulnerable,
raw, stripped down,
and authentically just us. I'm Jeff.
And I'm Darius, aka DMC.
So grab a drink
or keep your hands on the wheel.
Readjust your support. And let's get into it. All right. So tonight, another special episode.
Mm-hmm.
We're coming to you live and in person. Once again, This time, we're actually in Towson, Maryland, which is special for me.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, that's Go Tigers.
His old stomping ground. So, yes, I wonder if you felt some nostalgia when we were pulling up.
Just slightly. But I mean, I wasn't on campus a lot, so
right.
Yeah, it was only one semester.
I just thought about it. Your undergrad was Tigers.
Yes.
And then you came here for grad and it's Tigers. Yeah.
Yep. Okay. So dual Tigers.
You're a Tiger.
I am a Tiger through and through.
Show them you're a Tiger. Show them what you can do. That's right.
All right, Darius, DMC. So what we got for tonight?
So like we always do, we're going to keep it vulnerable. We're going to keep it raw. We're going to keep it stripped down. And we always get a little reflective in what we do. So today we're getting into a topic that kind of has been stirring up conversation for a long time. All right. And that's the difference between preference and prejudice. We're going to say in gay dating, but it's normally in dating, period.
Right.
So we all got a type, right? Right.
Yes.
But at what point does that type start to sound like exclusion? Are we really drawn to what we like, or are we really just repeating what society kind of told us is desirable? So we want you to grab your drink, open your mind, and let's talk about where attraction ends and bias begins.
Yes.
All right. So just to kind of start us off, what would be your definition of preference? And then what about prejudice?
So a preference to me is I like A.
Okay.
I also will handle B.
You'll handle it.
I'll deal with B.
Okay.
But if you give me A, I'd rather have A.
Okay.
Whereas prejudice means I won't even deal with B at all. It's only A. Mm-hmm. There's nothing outside of this box of A. And anything outside of that, I'm cutting off. I'm not even going to consider anything that is not part of the A.
Okay.
So that's what it is for me.
Yeah. Preference for me is a desire.
Okay.
So it's what I desire. It's something that I kind of have an affinity towards. So maybe affinity is natural desire. So if you just naturally kind of gravitate to something, and that could be an ice cream flavor, that could be a pizza topping, I have an affinity for that, even though, like you said, I will indulge or engage in other things, and I'm not knocking any of those other things, but it's just, okay, desirably, that's what I kind of do. A prejudice for me is, like I said in the opening, it's way more exclusionary. Like it's deal breaker. I'm not looking at that at all. And I don't even want to deal in the space of that, or I don't even want to live in that realm of what it is. So, but it's always difficult to try to put that in terms of people and in terms of what you desire, or again, like I said, if it's just something that you feel that you don't want because society has told you that. So, do you feel like in all of the dating that you have done, do you feel like your preferences are really what you prefer or you desire, or is it something that might be built by something else?
I don't think it's built by anything else, because I feel like I kind of decide on what I want when I want it.
Okay.
You know, like we talked about having types before, and while we did say everybody has a type, I tend to feel like I have preferred affinity towards certain people, but I don't feel like I exactly have like a pinpoint type, because I will date the rainbow if it's open for that. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And it's kind of like with the food analogy that you made before. That's how I would basically explain prejudice versus preference, because I would say, hey, I'll eat KFC, I'll eat Popeyes, I absolutely won't eat Royal Farms. Not true. But if someone,
I was like, there's something wrong with you then if you don't want to eat Royal Farms.
yeah, I'm just using them as an example.
Okay.
So if I was the type of person that would unreasonably not eat Royal Farms just because it comes from a gas station, even though I'd be dying to eat, you know, I need to eat to live, but I'm not going to eat Royal Farms because it's Royal Farms, but I will eat this KFC, I will eat this Popeyes. To me, that is what prejudice is.
Okay.
So when it comes to like what I desire and what I feel other people desire, doesn't matter to me. Like that doesn't influence my choice, because what I like is what I like. And at the end of the day, you can't make me like something that I don't like, and you can't make me not like something. And I don't care what the outside world thinks about who I'm dating, because at the end of the day, it's my relationship. It's my sexual experience. It's my whatever it is between me and another person.
Use your word.
What?
It's what between you and that person begins with a B.
I'm not going to say, I don't need to use that word. We'll put that on the screen. But yeah, I'm not using that word for this. But yes. Yeah, so the outside is not going to enhance my happiness. So it doesn't matter to me what the world thinks. I'm happy in this relationship. This is what I like. This is what's attractive to me.
Okay. Yeah. I think.
How about you?
Yeah, I think for me, it's honestly some of my preferences. I was thinking about this. Some of my preferences are really built on trauma.
Okay.
And the trauma of being bullied and being ostracized for things like my size, my color, which I still have. I'm still working through like this complex of being dark.
But yeah, not necessarily your color, but your skin tone.
My skin tone.
Skin tone.
Skin tone.
Yes.
Yeah.
We don't have a problem being black.
Some people. We love being black. So no, but definitely with my skin tone and how, you know, we grew up in the 70s and the 80s.
Yes.
And so we talked about this before, but light skin was in. And when I was growing up, it was always a thing of, oh, I ain't interested in this person because they black, you know, even though we were all black African American. But
your mama so black.
Yeah, your mama so and like all those, you know, the dozens and all the cracking jokes we had on people. Your mama so black, she, you know, whatever. And so it was all of that stuff. And like even, and you bringing that up, I'm not even sure that there were any jokes or digs that I heard about your mama so light, you know. That.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah.
I think everything was about darkness and that being a negative.
Fat and yeah, and so again, those are things that were traumatic kind of for me in that I've come out of it, and I'm not like sitting at home balled up in the fetal position thinking about, oh my God, I was bullied, you know, in these ways. But I think sometimes my preferences when it comes to dating tend to lean in that direction. Like it's what I desire. When I was growing up, I desired to be lighter. And so me dating somebody that is adjacent to or lives in the space of what I desired during those periods, sometimes I feel like I lean toward that. People who have really nice bodies, like that's something I aspire or something that I desire. And so when I see somebody with a nice body, I'm going, oh, okay, like I would love to be at least adjacent to that, you know? And so a lot of my preferences come from that I can admit that they do.
Yeah. But I mean, a lot of us like a nice body.
Yes.
But that doesn't have anything to do with, you know, skin tone or anything like that. But I understand where you're coming from.
I wonder if people actually think about why they like a nice body. Like think about the preferences that you have. Like I know kind of what if I had to put it a type, I kind of have an idea of what your type is. So do you know, have you interrogated why your type is what it is?
Um, in general, I say as a man who likes masculine men,
Okay.
I would
And
prefer.
even that's a preference. But
Yeah,
we'll talk about
and
that.
that's a preference. I prefer a more masculine body type. So yes, if you have muscles and you don't even have to be fit, you don't have to be bodybuilder, you don't have to be on the stage, because I'm not that.
Right. Yeah.
But
yeah,
what I'm
no.
saying is, when a man has been to the gym, even if he ain't been to the gym in like 3 months, but he's worked out really hard and he still has kind of like that core, shoulders,
definition.
chest, arms, that's what is attractive to me. But he doesn't have to be super fit.
Okay.
So again, like if he's a thick boy, that's fine too. I'm a thick boy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like that more intentionally developed male frame versus someone that would just be thick and not necessarily, and I know this has been a little bit of the discourse on Twitter the last couple of days. Someone posted about, y'all like thick boys, but y'all don't like them when they just fat. And I kind of agree with that because, we like that more husky, the guy from Black Panther type. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, the one who played
Winston Duke.
Yeah, Winston Duke.
Winston Duke. We like that where he's not super fit, but he's thick. He's got the arms. He's got all that. So we do like that. But a lot of guys don't like I'm just a gainer. I just eat. I'm just a blob. I don't have any type of, I don't have any muscle tone to me. I'm just here.
Okay.
And for me, I'm not necessarily attracted to that, but I am attracted to something that's a little bit more masculine presenting in that way.
So, but you haven't thought about why you like a masculine presenting body.
As a gay man, I just feel like that's what I'm naturally attracted to.
Okay.
And I haven't really put too much thought into it other than that. And I imagine it's the same way where with women, most straight men don't need a woman that's super perfectly Kim Kardashian, if I'm not even going to say that she's perfect, but you know what I mean? Not that Coke bottle shape, big ass titties, thick ass butt, thick ass thighs.
And a small waist.
Small waist. Yeah. Men will be okay with a lady that does not have exactly that.
Okay.
But again, that's these 2020, 2025 American beauty standards right now. So, that could change. Is watching Girlfriends, the big titties or nice titties, just, regular sized girls that just were that shape, that were just more natural. And now we have this more enhanced aesthetic where it's all curvy and all that. And we didn't have that 20 years ago when that show was on. And that would have been considered,
Yeah, true. Do you think people use that's just my preference, I like what I like? Do you think that they use that to mask some sorts or biases or prejudices?
I don't think people really understand the definition of preference and prejudice.
Yeah.
And they say that. And they think that, it's just my preference. And they haven't
and they say it like that.
Yeah, they say it like that. It's just a preference.
Yeah, they do.
It's just my preference.
Yeah.
Yeah, they say it like that. Because saying that is their escape. You know what I mean? Like, that's my get out of jail free card. They think it's a get out of jail free card for them to be prejudiced against other people or things that they're not into. It's okay to not like certain things. Oh, I don't like a guy that's thick. Oh, I don't like a guy that's, overweight, something like that, that they can physically change and adjust. But to me, if you say, oh, my preference is, it's just a preference for me to like a white, blonde, blue-eyed man because I'm a white, blonde, blue-eyed man. That's one thing. But you're not even considering, and what I was going back to before with choice C, I'm not even considering any other choice because I'm only going to date this mainstream choice of the blue-eyed, blonde-haired white guy. That's fit.
Okay. Yeah,
that's how I see that.
Yeah, I agree with a lot of what you're saying there. I think that the get out of free jail card was a good way to kind of sum it up But for me, the get out of free jail card is did I say that right? Get out of jail.
Get out of jail free.
Yeah, I was like, that didn't come
We know what
right.
you mean. We know what he meant.
That was a little dyslexic moment.
It's okay.
But
I have them a lot.
It's age. So, but I think that people use that. It's my preference to avoid showing or avoid speaking out loud how shallow they can be. I've had people who have been completely into other people as well as me up until like that first meeting. You could video chat with these people. You could talk to them on the phone, all of that, and they're definitely all in. They're like, yeah, this is, you're somebody I'm really interested in. I like your pictures. I like, all of that stuff. And then they meet you in person, and then the attraction or the conversation is still there. All of that stuff is still there, but then they just kind of back away. And you're like, okay, well, what happened? Like, was it something physical? Was it the aesthetics? And then, they're like, yeah, well, my preference is this, or I feel like this, or they just don't want to say, you know what, I like this specific type of body. I like this specific type of skin tone. I like this size nose. I like for your fingernails to look like this. I like for your back to be able to, like, all of these little things. And I'm just being facetious here, but yeah, like they have all of these things, and they say, oh, well, that's just my preference. My preference is this, and my preference is that. I watched, we both watched we have watched the Shoot Your Shot.
Yeah.
They shout out to Lamont. And it's interesting because when he asked the question, he's like, okay, well, what things are you attracted to, or what's attracted to you? And it's always funny to have guys that are on the show that are like, I like somebody who knows their way around the gym, or I like somebody who is fit and is that, etc., which is fine. That's completely, what you're attracted to. But sometimes I want Lamont to go a little deeper than that and say, okay, hey, so why is it that you like, this fit body? But I think that would be a completely different show.
That would, he probably says that for his paying clients.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's you're correct in that. Yeah.
But that's a good way. That's a good thought. Why do we have these desires, and why do we feel this way? Why are we attracted to that? I don't think a lot of us really sit with that question, and we just kind of like move forward. Because, it's interesting going back to what you said earlier about being dark skinned and hearing You So Black and being in the 80s, or children of the 80s, 70s, having the soul glow and DeBarge and all the light skin likingness and all that stuff. And so those people normally are associated with Eurocentric features. So, when we see that, and we see other people that will have in their profiles like no ice, no rice, no spice, because
I've never heard.
You've never heard of that?
No.
Okay. So people will put that
what does ice mean?
I think ICE may stand for Hispanic. I'm not sure. But I thought spice
as
meant,
you were saying it hit me, and I was like, oh my God, like, wow, that's beat up.
So you would see that more on Grindr than you would see on Jack.
I'm not really on there.
Yeah, I'm not really on there. But when I was on there, I have seen that before, where people would put that in there, letting folks know that they don't want these particular races right there in their profile. And I don't think Grindr allows that now.
They should.
They shouldn't if they do. I haven't been on Grindr in years. So I don't know what's going on.
You were going to say what was Spice? What was Spice then?
I thought Spice may have been Hispanic.
But then Ice was Hispanic too?
But Ice could have been Hispanic too. Because I think it was, some people were saying it was like no chocolate, no curry.
That's what I was about to say. Was Spice supposed
but I
to
thought
be like
Spice kind of meant like,
because black people like spices?
Maybe that's what it is.
Okay.
It could be, because we do like
spices, and people like this sometimes don't like spice. So,
but yeah, so I would think that we still see that in profiles, just as, blatant upfront. Hey, do not even contact me if you are of color, because I'm not for it. I want my blonde-haired, blue-eyed Ken doll man that's 6'1", named Spin, who can take me to Santorini.
Right, Santorini. Oh, the French Riviera.
The French Riviera and all of that.
And we can do all of these things, right?
Yeah, but I appreciate, and I know we hadn't really talked about this as a talking point, but now that we're talking about it, I feel like there was, I don't know if you remember this, but I feel like with Wesley Snipes and Morris Chestnut in the 90s, there became like this dark-skinned desirability resurgence with Eddie Murphy.
Morris Chestnut, yes. I don't remember that with Wesley Snipes, though.
Okay.
Because I still remember people looking at Wesley Snipes going, well, and I think the only reason people were really into like Wesley Snipes like that is because he was action hero and he had a nice body. So I think they were attracted to that. But I don't know that they were necessarily attracted, like he was a conventional kind of, oh, this is a dark-skinned king kind of thing, even though, they all were, but I don't think people were really like looking at him in that way. But Morris Chestnut definitely. And who did you say? Who's the other person you said?
Eddie Murphy. Yeah.
Yeah, Eddie. But I think Eddie Murphy appealed to that subset of people who enjoy comedy. And like, they're like, oh, I love a man that can make me laugh.
Okay.
And, he was doing all of those movies, the Dr. Doolittles and the Boomerang and like all that stuff. So yeah, maybe in that. And then in Harlem Nights, yeah, he was definitely there as well. But yeah, so okay, I could see that one.
Yeah, I mean, I felt like, Eddie is one of those men that has gotten more attractive with age. Even with Morris Chestnut, because I didn't see it for him. I didn't see it for Malcolm Jamal Warner, rest in peace, until they got older.
Diggs, I just thought about
that. Yeah, Tay Diggs, that's another one. Yeah. But once they got older, got a little age on them, I was like, oh, okay, I see this. But when I was younger, in my 20s, I didn't really see it for them. I mean, I'm not saying that they weren't bad-looking guys. It had nothing to do with their skin color. Mm-hmm. I just did not like that aesthetic. And I think once the facial hair started coming in and the actual hair started coming off, that changed the whole dynamic for me for those guys. So
what about race? We're talking about race and we're talking about color. Do you think that that's a valid preference?
I don't know, because on one hand, I feel like it could be a cultural thing. Because remember when we had our other in-person here and you were talking about the white guys that had the swag, or the white guy that had the swag, you didn't really see that his race being a thing.
Right.
And sometimes it could be that it's a cultural difference. If someone is more in tuned to the culture that you're used to, it makes them easier to date. Just like with me, I, said before, I tend to have better chances dating someone that's from the South versus people that are from the North or the West. And I think that culturally we can end up kind of meshing a little bit better. Now that said, not to kind of get off a tangent on the question, I feel like I definitely know that I'm not going to be able to date someone that's a hillbilly in Appalachia. It's not happening. Okay. Hard stop.
Well, I don't know that they're looking for any of us.
Oh, that's either. Definitely not. Yeah, they're looking for their cousin and brother.
Yeah, my cousin, my mother, my brother, and my sister. Yeah,
right. My sister aunt. So I feel like as a person, again, I've dated the rainbow. I have messed around with the rainbow, so that's not really an issue for me. I've tasted the rainbow, all the Skittles colors.
Yeah.
So. I don't feel like it's a valid reason to not date someone, because at the end of the day, it's about having compatibility with your life where you are right now in this moment. And if it just so happens that Opie is who you're into, or, I don't know, Mateo is the vibe for the day and y'all getting along and it works, let it happen. Who cares if he's white? Who cares if he's Asian? Who cares if he's Hispanic? Y'all are getting along. Why are you missing out on the potential of love if everything else is in tune?
Yeah.
But culturally, I know I'm not about to mess with Opie in Appalachia.
Even if Opie has a nice body and is what would conventional, okay,
No, no,
that
because
would
I
be conventionally
already know
attractive.
that Opie probably just trying to get me to get back home so he can put me over the stakes and kill me and eat me.
All right. And on the next show, we'll be talking
Right.
about cannibalism.
So speaking about nice bodies,
Uh-huh.
and so we just talked about masculinity for a little bit. So what about mask only and fit only when we see those in the profiles?
So I immediately turn off because you've already set yourself into this box where you have this expectation that I think can be unrealistic
Mhm.
in the grand scheme of how dating and relationships and compatibility and connection and all of those things work. I'm not knocking those people who do that. That's completely fine. But I always want to ask, why is it that you specifically have those delineations? Why do you specifically have that criteria? What has happened in your life, or what currently are you looking for your future for that to be a requirement?
Mm-hmm.
And that's where it's always shaky for me. So, and when I've asked people that, I've actually asked people that, when I've asked people that, again, they don't interrogate it. They haven't gone deep enough to say, okay, this is why I feel the way I feel, or this is what I've experienced in my life that has led me to this. There was a guy that he still is attractive, but there's a guy that I met in Florida, and very attractive guy, and I remember meeting him at the beach, matter of fact, and
Okay.
it was he was real cool, and I started following him on social media and stuff like that. And I remember having a conversation. You remember Chris, that when you came to visit, we went to breakfast together.
Yes.
Okay. So I had asked Chris about him because Chris knew him, and Chris was like, yeah, he was like, I talked to him before, I knew him. He was like, but I don't think that he's looking for anybody African American.
Mm.
And so I said, oh, I was like, okay. And Chris kind of alluded to there being some sort of traumatic issue or some sort of trauma that was associated with that. And that
Okay.
was why he felt that way. But I think that boxes people in when they say, okay, it's only this and it's only that. That's when you're getting into bias and you're getting into prejudice at that point, because that's the only thing you want. But I always want to know, why specifically do you want that? Is it that you want to have that arm candy? You want other people to want the guy that allegedly is just going to be for you, you know? Or is it that you've grown up a certain way, kind of like me, and you're like, okay, I want somebody in my life that is aspirational to what I kind of always wanted. I don't know. What do you think about that?
I feel like I definitely get and understand mask only. And like I said, I do like masculine men. Have I dated people that were less than what people would say?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes,
the standard masculinity. Yes, I've done that before. So that's not a barrier for me personally. And then I've dated people that were of various stages of body shape or fitness too. So I'm not saying that, I'm the, what I want to say, Benetton.
Standard.
Yeah. Just, whatever, just give me whatever, I'll deal with it. But
Benetton is crazy. So yeah, you put that. It's starting to register. I'm seeing all the ads running through my mind. Yeah, the United colors of Benetton.
Yes, United colors of Benetton or anything like that. But I feel like when it comes to fit only, I kind of feel like birds of a feather flock together. And I've experienced that a lot.
I agree with
so the fit girls end up staying, the girls, the body boys end up, congregating together, and they always are in their little elite club. And I noticed that dealing with my group of people, which would be the thicker, muscular guys, we tend to kind of we get gathered together as well. We congeal. And so it's interesting, if we're looking at it from, we always give the body boys that type of flack. But even in my circle, we have, there's guys that are fit, that are, swole up and all that stuff too. And not necessarily, got a belly or anything. Like, you can see their abs and this, that, and the other. So, and in the people that I know in my friend group locally in Atlanta. So it's interesting, that when we see people that say fit only, I'm wondering, are they looking for people that are in the same type of hobbies as them? Because they want to have some gym bros and this, that, and the other. Maybe it's a whole activity thing. Like, I want fit people around me because I like to go hiking. I like to zip line. I like to go walk the park.
People,
I want to ride
people
bikes.
who are bigger who do all of those same things.
That's true too.
Yeah, and it's just that I can't say that I would take that as that's the reason for me. Like, I would go, okay, I don't see that.
It's not a reasonable reason.
Yeah, I think it's something. I think it's something else. It's and some people will say, oh well, I'm in the gym and I've worked hard, on my body, and I want somebody in there who has that same kind of passion. But it's like, okay, that person may have the passion that you have, but they just have had circumstances and situations that have led them astray or led them away from that passion. But like, maybe you could be there to help them out. Again, I'm not saying that you go out and get you a big guy, or go out and get you a twink, or go out and get you a whatever. But I'd love for us to be able to interrogate that and say, okay, you know what? Real talk, this is why I feel the way I feel.
It could be just that it's dick and ass in a case.
Ta-da.
In case of emergency, break glass.
And that's it. I think that's part of it too. It's this is what I want to look at.
And I want to, and look.
And porn has helped with that.
I have, do what you do. Like, if that's what you prefer, and just be upfront with that and be real with yourself, because you'll end up having a better situation and relationship with those people. If it is, hey, I like you, you hot, I'm hot, let's friends, let's be hot together, let's mess around, this, that, and the other. And let that be what it is, instead of trying to make it seem like, oh, I want all my friends to be fit like me and healthy, rah, rah, rah. Because there's more to being fit and healthy than just what's on the outside, just because you got 8% body fat.
And that's what, and I see a lot of pictures that are like that. Like, when people go out and they hang out with certain people, you see the picture of, hey, we went on vacation, went on vacation with some friends, and everybody there in the picture is like,
they don't even have a skinny friend. They're all of their
no
friends.
Skinny friend, no thick friend, no nothing. Yeah, all of this, the same body, different faces. Yes. And I'm just like, wow. Like, okay, how did you manage to get all of these people together? But yes, I guess it's because you run into. I want to bring up the thing that you talked about the mask only or stuff like that.
Yeah.
I heard somewhere, and I don't know if you've heard this before, but it has resonated with me and stuck with me, that guys who seek masculine only guys are actually showing their femininity.
I've heard about that.
And I was like, that's kind of true. Like, if you're a man that wants a masculine guy, then you're feminine, because that's what that's what you're seeking. So I was like, that's interesting. Now, how true that is, I don't know, but I really thought that was very interesting. That's a feminine trait, that you want a masculine man. So my counter to that, and I totally get the logic behind it. My only issue with that is that, why is it that it seems like only black men feel like
feel that way? Because I can walk down the street in Atlanta right now, go to Midtown, and I will see two flaming queens together in a relationship, happy as all get out. And no one bats an eye. And they're happy. No one's saying, which one's the woman, which one's the man, or whatever. Like,
who's
they are
bending.
Yeah, who's doing the bending? And they're not the most masculine men together. And they're happy. And life goes on. And it just seems like when it comes to black men, we're always either trying to be with someone masculine, or we're chasing someone masculine. We're trying to be that masculine person, or we want to be with someone masculine. So we don't tend to see too many femme guys as a couple together, two femme guys. You don't really see that a lot.
Yeah,
And it's out there. We just don't see it a lot.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean,
I think a lot of it too has to do with outward appearance.
yes.
Because masculine presenting gay men can pass. And I think that there's still some internalized homophobia there. And if I'm gay, like they're saying, okay, I'm gay. And if I can be a part or be with somebody who, when we're walking down the street, it doesn't appear to everybody else that we're gay, that's what I'm looking for, because I don't want the stares. I don't want people asking a bunch of questions. I don't want the snickering. I don't want the pointing or, the judgment. I don't want any of that stuff. So if I can get with somebody who is
unclockable
like I am, then I'm going to, that's what I want. That's what and the fact that sometimes people just haven't come to that level of acceptance within themselves that okay, this is what I do, this is who I am, and I just need to find somebody, or I just want to find somebody that cares about me, that supports me, that loves me, and is not a homosexual.
Yeah. I think it kind of comes down to, if I'm masculine, or if I feel like I'm masculine presenting and I'm with someone else that's also masculine, I can play this off of, that's my homeboy.
Yeah.
And oh yeah, of course we're going on vacation together because that's my dude. So we always going to play ball, or we working in the gym.
We always watching football.
Yeah, we always watching football and wrestling and bodybuilding competitions.
And watching body competitions on ESPN. Right.
Yes.
So, yeah, that's it.
But what's another thing that's interesting though too? Just this weekend, one of my friends said that when he came out to his mom, and they, the dust settled, this, that, and another, and the conversation was about relationships. She told him, no, he promised her that he would bring a man home, not some sissy. And now he's talking to a guy that is not the most masculine. And so I think
is a sissy.
Well, I don't know. I never met this man, but he said he's not the most masculine. But yeah, so that goes back to, again, presenting and having that acceptance, because, I can bring this masculine man home to mama, even if I'm not that masculine myself, but at least I brought this man home that's a man that can go out and chop the tree down and build a house and all of that stuff. So
milk a cow
and
plow the fields, keep your hand on the plow,
right? Cut a chicken up
because I'm a thug and I'm country. Yeah,
that's right.
Things. Right. So trying to think of where I want to go next. Okay. Have you ever been fetishized or dismissed when you were dating?
I never felt like I was anyone's fetish. I mean, of course people will say, oh, he's got these almond, eyes and this, that, and the other, because they thought maybe I was biracial. Or had some Asian in me, which is true, but it's 1% is no big deal. But clearly,
you think the 1% caused?
I don't want to get in the show, but I really don't think that it did. But there's
23andMe, everyone. If you would like to sponsor,
don't do 23andMe.
Oh yeah,
get Ancestry.
I heard don't do 23. Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely
do not do 23.
Ancestry. That's what we're doing. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, so there's a little bit more to it than that, but just to stay on the train, I feel like that could have been the most about it, that someone may have thought that maybe I was of mixed race.
Okay.
But I can say I felt, I can say that I've only felt more rejected, as I talked about previously, once I started gaining weight, when I was more fit and this, that, and the other, and more athletic build and this, that, and the other. I felt like it was a lot easier for me to date just because that was more of the general desirability. Of course, I have my own lane now where, guys that are my shape right now, and that's fine or whatever. I'm not going to be like this forever. But Yeah. So I think I felt less rejection and declines when I was thinner.
Mm-hmm.
But what's interesting is that when I was on the apps, when I would weigh myself, I'd be like, oh, well, I actually on the scale am this weight, but I look like I'm this weight. So I'm gonna put this weight in here, which is smaller,
Mm-hmm.
because when people put on their little slits and roll the dial down and up and down on the weight, I'm not going to be included in the matrix
Okay.
when the results come back up,
Mm-hmm.
because I'm going to be a little bit over. So let me dial my way down,
Mm-hmm.
because I look like I'm this, because I'm more bulky and more built. So I did do that.
Okay.
So yeah, I did smudge the numbers a little bit, but I mean, no, there was no complaints once people met me in person and saw me
They
in
were
real life.
like,
So,
oh my God, you are fat as
oh
fuck.
my God,
Yeah,
he looks
man,
like the Stay Puft.
Yeah, Marshmallow Man. Right.
What about you?
And
Have
I'm
you?
gonna get some chocolate and graham crackers, and we're gonna have a good ass time. So I have definitely been dismissed because of the aesthetics.
Mm.
Definitely.
Okay.
It's not though. It hasn't been. It hasn't been as much recently. I think because people are getting up in age, and the people that I tend to try to date or I talk to or engage with are just like, look, I'm old. We're getting up there. I want to find somebody that, again, going back to supportive and that cares about me and is not going to, chop me up in the middle of the night and
Very important.
right. We don't need that, and eat my liver with some fava beans and a nice Chianti. We're not doing that. But I definitely, like I said, have been dismissed again where people, we have conversations, we FaceTime and like all of that stuff. And I'm not what they want, whatever their preference is. Fetishized, I don't think I've been fetishized other than the standard kind of fetishizing that people do on apps or that people do in dating, where if they're attracted to you and then they're attracted to your voice and then they're kind of attracted to the energy, they immediately go to sex.
Okay.
And it's, well, let's share pictures. Can I tease you with some pictures a little bit? Or, do you send these, these kind of things. And so then it's like they're trying to check off all of those boxes. Okay, you got this, you got this, you got that, you got this. All right, now let me figure out if you got this. So it's I don't want to call it a game necessarily, because it's not. It's more or less it's their version of survival.
Okay.
And it's okay, if I'm going to be with somebody, they need to have all of these things. And those expectations are things that are not readily expressed to the other person, or it's not openly expressed, not necessarily readily, but openly expressed to the other person. And again, they don't want to say that stuff out loud because it's going to make them look shallow.
Mm.
So that's been my experience with a lot of that. But like I said, fetishize, not necessarily. If I have been, I don't know it.
Okay.
Or I don't think about it. I'm like, okay, well, you're interested in this, which I get, or you're interested in me, which I also get,
Mhm.
So
But
sometimes never the two shall meet, but go ahead.
So when you said, okay, after you've shared pictures
Mm-hmm.
and people have seen the full Monty and all of that stuff,
Mm-hmm.
do you feel like you've gotten that fetishization after that?
No, it's been more, then it turns into addiction. Like it turns into like, okay, I want that right now,
Okay.
kind of thing. So, or it's a I need a hit, kind of thing. So it's not. I don't think it could be. I don't know. Maybe I need to look up what fetishizing.
Because somebody could look at
but
that and be like, okay, well, now that I've seen your goods, now I'm ready to pounce. I'm ready for whatever you got. So, homie, all of that. So that's, I mean, because that could be seen as a fetish.
maybe, I guess. I mean, I don't know. I'm when I think fetish, I think that that's the only thing that's front of mind.
Okay.
Versus most of the people that I have sent my nudes to and all of that stuff are people who I've had conversations with first. So I've had conversations and all of that. And sometimes, on the app, sometimes people lead with that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That's where it gets, into fetish territory.
Okay.
But a lot of the people who lead with that, I don't indulge or I don't engage.
Got it.
I'm just like, okay, that's nice. Thanks for sharing.
Okay. I just wanted, because I feel like maybe once we started talking, I was thinking, well, I know you.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, I know you don't lead with that.
No.
Because I feel like guys that lead with that, that's basically what they want to be objectified in that way. So let me put this thing out here for you to see.
And
let me bend over.
That. Yeah, I would even ask that. Like, okay, why do you feel like you have to lead with that? Like, if you're just looking for this, okay, that's fine. But like, and I hate when people say sometimes that, like a Jacked or a Grindr or whatever, it's just a hookup app. And I'm like, no, they weren't designed to be that. We've turned them into that. But I don't think they were designed to be that. They were designed to be places where you can meet people, you can hook up, sure, you can date, all of those things. But no, it's not solely that. And I think we just kind of relegated it to that. So
yeah, because we've turned everything into hookup.
Everything
apps.
is a dating.
LinkedIn,
Snapchat.
Oh, Snapchat, real bad.
Snapchat is bad. I had no idea how bad Snapchat was until I started getting like oodles and gobs of like friend requests, and I'm just like, how are y'all finding me? And then they'll come in and, hey, how you doing? And and then sometimes it's the people overseas that are trying to scam you out of stuff. Or and I'm also wondering how do inmates get Snapchat?
Look,
and like accounts. How are they getting that? Because I got hit up actually today by somebody that was like, hey, I'm just waiting on my last 6 to 8 weeks and I'll be out of here.
Look, this is way beyond them having access to the computer lab.
I don't know. But
they in there making OnlyFans and everything.
Okay, got it. So, yeah. What do you think it looks like for people to choose based on connection and not conditioning? Because we're kind of talking a little bit around the conditions behind why people have these preferences or these prejudices.
So when you say connection, what do you mean by that?
So
make sure I understand.
So having conversation, having an actual leaning in toward what we traditionally should have been taught that dating is, where you meet somebody, you introduce yourself, you're having conversations, you're getting to know somebody. So that's connection. You're building connection there, or seeing if connection is there. Versus conditioning is, I look at you, you're what I want because this is how it has appeared that I should be, or this is how it appeared that people should be looking for, what people should be looking for.
So I feel like connection is very important because that's going to be what sustains the relationship,
right?
Whatever that relationship is going to be. If that's going to be friendship, platonic, a hookup, a relationship that ends up in an engagement and marriage, you need to have connection and some type of base to root your relationship down.
Okay.
Just choosing someone based on an attractiveness, that's going to fail. And because after you get over the high of the sex, after you get over the high of look who I got on my arm with me, taking me to this and I'm getting flued out, like all that stuff is is just not strong enough to like keep a relationship going. And people learn that a little bit too late, I think. And because, we don't know how to date, even though we've got every resource in the world to show us, to teach us how to date on our phones, on the internet, we choose not to do those things, or use in books even too. We have all of these tools at our disposal to actually learn how to be better daters, how to learn to be better people in relationships, and we're just ignoring it or not paying attention to it. So I feel like when it comes down to the conditioning of feeling like, oh, I've got to have this masculine man, or I got to have this attractive man on my arm because that's going to give value. And if I'm with them, that increases my value too.
I agree with
that increases my desirability. So even if this relationship ends because I posted about it on social media, then my DM's gonna blow up because I was with that person.
Yeah, I will say that is one of the conclusions that I've come to too with a lot of people, that it's about proximity. It's about, okay, I am in proximity of someone who is very attractive, who is desired by so many people. So because I'm in proximity of that, it's going to rub off on me as well. And I'm going to in turn be desirable, and I'm going to be wanted by a lot of people. That's honestly a lot of, when I was growing up and making friends, that was a lot of, and I've been able to, through therapy and everything, figure out that that was why sometimes I wanted to be friends with certain people, because they were popular, because they were, desirable. And I'm like, okay, I don't feel like I am, but if I'm in proximity of someone who is, then I'll be that by association. And that didn't work. It still didn't work.
I mean, I can understand that.
Yeah. So that is what it is, though. But that's my life, people.
I mean, at least you are, honest enough with yourself to recognize that that's what you were doing at the time.
Yeah. I mean, and it took a long time for me to be able to say that. But again, being, sitting with myself and going, okay, why do I feel like this? Why do I feel like that? The same way I ask like you a lot of questions and I ask people a lot of questions, I ask myself those questions all the time. So it's rare that someone hits me with a question that I haven't already kind of thought about or have had in my mind at some point. So I'm like, okay, yeah, now I've already worked through this, so I understand where I need to say or what I need to say here with that. So yeah, but that's growth. That's growth.
That is growth.
And therapy. And age, yes.
So. Growth, age, experience.
Yeah, all of those things, yeah. So I feel like we might need to do like a part 2 on this. Or I'd like to do a part 2 on this. I don't know if maybe we can bring somebody else in on this conversation, but I feel like there's a lot of other stuff that we didn't get a chance to get to.
Oh yeah, I think we could go deeper.
I'm feeling that the entire, I was like, because there's a lot of other stuff that I want to kind of bring into that and maybe just have some conversation. Maybe we'll do like a panel thing where we do maybe multiple people and say, okay, how do we feel about that? Okay.
Future show, folks.
Yeah, stay tuned. And keep us honest about that, because we'll say that this is a future show and then we'll completely forget about that shit. And it's 3 years down the road and we're like, we don't have any show ideas, And
y'all said y'all was going to do that show. Why y'all ain't do that show about the prejudiceness?
Yeah. And I like what I like, all of those things. So let me say this. So nobody's saying that you can't have preferences, all right? But what we are saying, or what we have said today, is that it's worth really asking why those preferences exist. Delve into that. Go deep. Dig deep. We don't stay on the surface. We dive deep, like we say in our intro, all right? So are your preferences really rooted in connection, which we talked about, the actual act of getting to know somebody and being intimate and vulnerable with somebody? Or is it just conditioning? Is it that this is what society says I should have, and so that's what it is? So the beauty of being in this community and in our community, the LGBTQ plus community, or the Libiquita community, is that we get to rewrite the rules on love, we get to rewrite the rules on desire, and we get to rewrite those rules about worth, and how both of those work in tandem and how those both are worthy. All right, so check yourself, stay open. Remember that real attraction starts where bias ends. So keep that in mind. Real attraction starts when bias ends. And, we want y'all to keep your drawers clean and keep your mind even cleaner,
All right. We love a pair of clean drawers.
Please.
Keep them clean.
We love all the pairs of clean drawers, right? So.
All right. Well, that's our show. Yeah. That's our show.
For now.
Yes, for now. So that's a wrap for this episode of Just Drawz. We hope you felt the love and learned something new.
Now remember to keep in touch with us and reach out to us. Come to our social medias. Come to the comments on the show. Talk back to us. Let us know, what your thoughts are. Do you have preferences? Do you have prejudices? Holler at us and let us know.
That's right. Until then, be bold, be beautiful, and remember to check yourself before you wreck yourself.
Please. And we'll catch y'all next time.
Peace.
Make sure you subscribe and share the show because the algorithm only listens when you all make noise.
Follow us on social media, tap in with the community, and keep the conversation going.
We look forward to seeing you and
hearing from you. Peace.